You did read the channel description, didn't you? Vintage audio is something we do. There's coils in speakers. There's coils in everything. We always go behind the coil. Vintage audio is just a part of it. In this episode, we're going to be looking at some realistic Nova 8s. Pretty vintage. 3-way speaker with a 12-inch sub. I haven't looked inside the box yet. Do you think the foam surrounds are rotted out? I think they are. Let's find out. It's good packaging. I say good packaging, it's protected is what I mean. One second. When I went to get the fan, I checked. You couldn't see me. Oh, maybe that's a good thing. So, I'm gonna have to play with the camera setup a bit. This is pretty late in the evening. It's getting close to midnight. So we're really just gonna try and get a little bit started on the video, a little overview. I'm gonna blow some things off. Okay. It looks, I mean, if this is veneer, it's a really good job. Yeah, it is. It is a veneer, but man, it looks really good. Cover your ears real quick. So there's the front of that. You've kind of already got to see the back. This ought to be real fun. So no access to the internals from the back, which means everything is going to come through the front. Got my fingers underneath it. I already don't like the setup because I want to be able to stand. So let's fix that. Well, I can stand. I'm in the picture. I still haven't figured out all the lighting stuff yet. I've been watching some YouTube videos, and they're going to be doing some post-processing because one shot to the next they can show like all the lights are off and all these cool glowing effects and lights, and then they cut back to them just talking. It's like, well, where'd all that go? So we'll keep learning. Well, I have slept and things have changed. This is actually the very next day. I finished up a shoot that I was working on for another video so that I could have this table. I didn't like how tall that table was compared to what we're trying to do here for visual aspects. It's going to be a lot harder to get some of these larger audio equipment in the same frame. So I had to not use my bridge light this time. And it took me a couple hours to kind of get where we're at with the lighting here. I looked back at some of the footage from the other table and it looks a bit blurry. I'm using my MacBook here now so I can kind of look at it. I can tell you my lighting still needs some work, but that's fine. It's no big deal. So what we're going to do now, I've got my phone set up here. It's going to be looking in, so we'll swap back and forth. So we'll see how this setup does us today. And who knows, maybe we keep changing it. We'll just keep dialing it in until we like what we see. So I'm going to get this camera started and then we'll dig in. So first things first, we've got some of that dust and dirt and debris. We're going to get that vacuumed out. So what we're going to do is check these 3 capacitors and resistor. Make sure that all this is going to be good to go. Replace anything that needs replacing. We'll be using an ESR meter to check our capacitors. Anytime you're using an ESR meter, have it powered on, connect the leads and hit the 0 button. This will zero out your meter. Alright, we're zeroed out. And you cannot replace these leads with longer leads, so they have to be short like this to work properly. I know it's a pain, but that's just what you deal with. The reading we got is 0.17. The reference it gives is for 25 volt caps. This looks to be, the capacitor we're checking is 50 volt, 33 microfarad. We can reference our little data sheet at the bottom of the meter here. So it goes from 22 microfarad to 47. So you're going to be in the kind of a range of that. Then you go from 35 volt to 63 volt. So it's not accurate to exactly what you're checking, but you can get your directionally correct measurements. So we come that, we'll say, we'll look at both 1.5 and 1.5. So a 22 microfarad at 25 volt and 63 volt are both saying 1.5. Anything below 1.5 is going to be a good cap. Then at 47 microfarad, both 35 and 63 volt, anything below 0.68 or 0.58, and we're getting 0.17. So I'm going to check one of these other ones. It is a 50 volt, 6.8 microfarad, so it's very, very low. That's kind of how the tweeter sections are going to be working. This one we're getting 7.8, and if you're concerned about it, you can always re-zero your meter out. So let's try that. It's 7.8. There are some a lot more expensive ESR meters that work a lot better. They give you much better ranges. All right, so we're zeroed out here. I haven't had the need to spend the money on one yet. Yep, so we're still getting 7.8. So we'll reference that. The other one is a little bit lower microfarad, so let's do this one first. So 7.8, 50 volt, 6.8 microfarad. So our lowest on here is 10 and 50 volts, so 3.2 and 2.4. Anything below that. So we could have some issues there, right? We were at 7.8. So let's check our 3.3. Our 3.3 microfarad at 50 volt as well is at 11.7. So that doesn't rule out that we don't have an issue with our filtering capacitors for the high. Very well could have some issues with the high frequency filter capacitors. But we also have the potentiometers that play a role in that. So this is just a directionally correct way of checking your capacitors. If you have capacitors or they're not very expensive, just replace them. So just trying to show you a couple of things that you can do and you can use to figure out if you're just troubleshooting some speakers. So one thing we can do to see if those potentiometers do have an effect on anything is I'll lift this up and I'll turn them all the opposite way, whatever it is they are, and we'll check that again. So now we're at 8.6. So not really much of a change there. 14.3, so it moves. So if you really wanted to be overly cautious, remove them from the circuit and then test them. But in this scenario, the customer bought these known working. We're just going to go through, see if anything is out of the ordinary. So far, everything has ohmed out correctly, and we at least know that we're getting movement in our capacitors. And if things sound off, we'll dig a little bit further because it's just 4 volts. Pull it out. I got to stop the copyright. Good job, bud. Back to what we were doing. So next we'll get the speakers cleaned up. We'll get the sub back in after we pack all the insulation back in and get all that good fiberglass back in our lungs. Then we'll give it a good test. So I'm not spraying anything on these speakers. They are paper cone speakers, and the surrounds, these are not foam surrounds. And while we're at it, we'll take a look at that. The bottom of that woofer, it does look pretty bad, and we're mainly just wiping off that corrosion, rust. I'm not sure if that's where they glued the magnet onto this or what, but like I said, you can tell this has been stored in the heat. You can see where all the surround glue or coating has kind of run to the bottom. I do want to spin this one speaker. It's fine. That way all the speaker terminals are going down the same way. It's not going to change anything. Once I put the grill on it, you're not going to see it. You really have to put some light through there to try to see that. We'll get the rest of these screws in and see how it sounds. So I'm using two hands, one because the magnet on this screwdriver is really powerful and it will kind of pull away from you. And working with speakers, if this pulls away, goes through the speaker, some of these vintage speakers, you're not going to find another one. This, we could find some more of this, but I don't want to. I'd rather look funny using two hands to use a screwdriver than to buy more speakers. In a sealed enclosure, sound battening really does make a big difference. I'm glad we've kind of moved away from the fiberglass insulation. I don't really like messing with it, but I have to a lot. Now, knowing that we've got our sub out, we need to make sure that we keep track of these wires. Doesn't feel great. It's not hard to remember what's bottom when all the goo's on it. And if you remember, we took a picture of this. It's on this phone that we're using. I'll stop that. So that way we know we're being overly cautious, checking to make sure we're putting all the wires back where they're supposed to go. It's always good to take pictures. Even if you remember, double check. What's it going to hurt? If anything, it's more seconds in a video. Content, right? I'll probably be cutting that out. Like a what? Yeah. And you can also feel on the back of this, there is a seal, foam sealant. That's to help with a sealed box. Remember, I always like to back off the screw until I feel it seated. That one didn't quite make the sound. We've been able to get the sound pretty good in some of the other videos. That ain't supposed to happen. let's put a little music into this and see what it does. Off to our back here, we've got a Sonos Connect amp. It runs 55 watts a channel. It's really low wattage, doesn't really push that hard, and I can control everything right off my phone. Try to play some royalty-free music, all the good stuff like that. Well, I found a playlist that says royalty-free. I'm not monetized yet, so it really doesn't matter either way. I'm going to play something. We'll see what it sounds like. I know the mic's not going to be the best thing for picking this up, but you'll get the gist of the working condition. So let's see what we get. So that's about a quarter of the way turned up. From the side, it sounds clear from over here. I'm going to try and talk a little louder. I don't know, might start peaking. Yeah, we've got everything working. I wouldn't call it a great song. Let's see if we can find something different. Here's something to give us some guitar, some vocals. I'm going to mess with some of the adjustments you can make in the back.
As long as I'm with you, I got it. Thank God you found me. I was lost and drowning before you pulled me out. I was in the deep end.
Works. So that just pulled all the way down on both mid and high.
Then you were my ecstasy, my amphetamine when I need it, baby. You know that I don't need dopamine, 'cause you make me feel like I'm not so alone. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't care about drugs when I'm with you.
So I'm not getting what I want to hear from the highs. Oh, I take that back. You're not getting it from back here. It's very projected.
Girl, I'm tripping the way you move, it just gets me high. You in the movie, girl, that's my vibe. You like Jenna Ortega on a Wednesday night when that weekend hits me on the blinding lights. Come on.
This speaker's good to go. Functional wise, still got a lot of work to do to it.
Get out, come take me higher. Get out of your attire. Mess up your hair is fun. We on 10 at night with no one inside.
Very clear, very clear sounding speaker. Now, the Sonos Connect amp is not going to push a lot of bass. You're not going to get the bass response that you're going to get out of a receiver or a preamp or anything like that. The Sonos Connect amp is just not going to push 12-inch subwoofer. Once I get the other one gone through, and we'll see how it sounds with a proper setup of audio going to it. So with that, I'm going to call it a night here. The family has gotten home. I spent most of the day trying to get lighting set up, and I still don't know quite yet how we're going to land on all that. It'll be a journey, but I think it will be a fun journey. If we can learn a little bit here and there along the way, I think we'll all be better off. So I will see you, to you, it'll be a couple seconds. To me, it's going to be about 3 or 4 days.